Between the Lines podcast, episode 7. You happy now?
Yeah.
All right, good. We on. We live.
Well, I'm King Abe. I don't know who the hell was just talking to y'all right now.
We got J Rock in the building.
Y'all know who I am.
Wow. Hey, you wilding out this episode.
Well, I got to a little bit.
That's
A
what's
little
up.
bit. Okay, let's go.
Everybody feeling good?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, it's warming up a little bit, so I'm happy.
You know, I thought it was going to be raining again. You know, we always battle weather when we come into your crib.
I don't know why that is, but
With
you
no
know,
warning.
But as soon as y'all get here, though, it gets really sunny. Like, look outside. Look at that beautiful weather. You know what I'm saying?
It's all right.
It's a beautiful Texas weather.
No, that's all right. It's mediocre at best.
Y'all niggas hating. All right. All right, move on.
All right, we can go ahead and jump right into the. Okay, no, go ahead and cut me off. It's fine.
I just want to say, you know, Black Panther did come out.
Black Panther did come out.
Shouts out to Black Panther.
Shout out to
y'all
BP.
saw it.
Yeah.
I don't want y'all to talk about because I haven't seen it yet. But I do want to ask y'all this.
Well, you took a major L with that one, huh?
Yeah, you better take it out.
Yeah.
Especially when the sequence come out.
I know, but you know, it's kind of a double-edged sword to me because I don't like seeing movies on opening night.
Why?
Because like it be like it's too much going on. Like it's too many people. It's like it's too many ratchet people, and everybody's talking and yelling and laughing and all that stuff. I mean, so I was going to ask y'all, like, how was that? Not watching the movie, but how was the experience?
What movie theater did you go to?
Anyone? I'll go to AMC. I'll go to Studio Movie Grill. Like, it don't matter. Like, opening night weekend for whatever movie y'all seen has been trash.
I will tell you, Black Panther was an experience.
That was amazing.
Go ahead, Jay.
So I just went Friday to
Yep.
go see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's because Red's been talking about Movie Pass. I went download Movie Pass.
Shout out to Movie Pass.
And I went to Stupid Movie Grill on Spring Valley. It was amazing. 3:00. It was probably half the theater was full because I wanted to go early. That way it wouldn't be packed. That way I could get a screening. But it was amazing. Like there was no of the outside chatter. Like I've never been to an open night theater where there's what you're talking about.
Oh, man.
Like where are you going? Where do you get this experience at?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Shit. Maybe
You in Garland, ain't you? You in Garland, ain't you?
Nah. I mean, it's anywhere from Mesquite to Dallas to Rockwall. Like,
Okay,
but
so
you
is
from-
it,
but
is
you
it
from
children
Mesquite.
for you or is it?
You say what?
Is it like kids crying? Like what? Like
No. It's like it's people that are being like they're over exaggerated. You know, like when a part actually happened, everybody's like, oh, and you kind of just want to just sit there and just watch the movie.
that's part of the movie experience.
That is kind
But
of.
it depends. I mean, and I get it, but when it's over exaggerated,
No, I hear
you
what
get
you're
to a
saying.
point to where you're not going to enjoy the movie.
No, I hear what you're saying. You basically just trying to say that we act too black.
So
That's what you trying to get at. You
No,
trying to skate around this issue.
No,
so you want
I'm not
everybody
saying
in the
that.
theater just be completely
Just silent,
through the whole movie.
unemotional.
No.
Somebody tell a joke, hey, you better not laugh.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm not saying it like that. I'm meaning like if a scary part happens, you know, be scared. But then, like when people be like, "Oh, don't go into that room. He in there. Don't go, girl, run. Oh my God, he fell. Get up." You know, bullshit like that. Like, I get it, but it's like sometimes it's like it's too much.
Hold
you
up.
can't really even
I ain't
enjoy
gonna
the
lie.
movie.
I ain't gonna lie. When we went to go watch Get Out, I literally pictured
that
that
genre is
whole.
necessary though.
Yo, Get Out, but Get Out was the exception to the rule because Get Out, part of the atmosphere of going to Get Out was watching other people, especially the interracial couples, like just to see how they reacted to certain things.
Yeah.
Like you would see the black dude dating a white girl, and then the black dude would be like, "That bitch crazy," and then the white girl would look at him like, "But I mean, yeah."
Maybe that's the nation. Maybe it is me. I
think it's
like
you.
going to watch a movie and like when scary shit happens, I like to be scared. But I like people talking during the movie though.
I will say this though: when we went to Black Panther, the bottles came out, the cups came out in the theater.
Really?
Yeah, like we was like 10 deep, and like the bottles, the cups came out, the wine was there. I don't know, they had the Patron there. Like it was.
I believe it.
It was a good, but the thing is, it toned everybody so down that we really embraced the movie.
That's what's up.
We felt like we were in Wakanda.
That's what's
So
up.
anyway,
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Wow. Wait, Rez, what theater was that?
we were in Cinemark West, Plano.
Wow. Well, there you have it.
Yeah, security was there, but they were really laid back, really lazy. I mean, we'll get into this more later, but Yeah, it was cool.
That's what's up.
So
Yeah, but for me, I love that whole experience. So for me, it feeds into it. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the wins and losses for this week.
move
Right
on.
So I'm like Abe from a couple weeks ago. My week was neutral. I didn't have anything relevant happen. I was just nothing too good, nothing too bad for this week.
Okay.
What about you guys?
Mine was decent. It was decent. It was Valentine's Day. That came. But I mean, it wasn't nothing. I didn't.
Valentine's, you
too
take a
crazy.
lot of wins and losses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So me, like I said, I was telling y'all last week, my wife's birthday it's kind of in between all of them or both of them.
Yep.
So I kept it simple, but it was simple, but then meaningful at the same time.
Yeah,
It's like just at work. I took her out to lunch, got her some flowers, and then she's a teacher, so I bought her classroom candy. And she appreciated it. So I feel like that's a little win. Nice little Valentine's Day win, I think. You know what I'm saying?
I concur. I caught a W on Valentine's Day, but that's just because like my wife is amazing. So she hooked it up for us. So she pretty much just cooked everything that a black woman knows how to cook all at once. It was just like the black soul food Thanksgiving Valentine's. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And all I had to do was go get the wine and go get the what was it, nothing but cakes. Nothing but cakes.
Nothing but cakes.
Thank you. Whatever. shout out to Nothing But Cakes. Gotta say it all slow.
Y'all have one out here?
No.
I was gonna say
No, I think I was in Carrollton.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was way out there. Carrollton or Richardson, one of them, but they in the same section. Not really, but yeah, Valentine's Day was dope. And then pretty much, I mean, I had Black Panther, so I mean, that's a W for black culture.
How many times are you gonna see the movie?
7.
Maybe 15.
Yeah, for real.
Movie
I'm
pass.
serious.
Like,
Oh,
I
y'all
mean,
got movie pass.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
movie
how
pass,
much,
so like-
how many times are you gonna pay to see it? But that's what's up.
Right.
let's see. Once $9.99.
I paid that $9.99 so I can.
You know what? Hold on.
Oh,
Pump the brakes. We need to stop plugging Movie Pass till they actually sponsor us, because we really giving them a lot of free advertisements. Like, I mean, if this was network marketing, I should have a check. Because I done referred a couple people. Matter of fact, one of my homeboys listening in right now, like, he referred me to it. He should have got a commission for that.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, put $100 in his pocket, Movie Pass.
Hey man, word of mouth is
Why y'all trying to say AMC lunch? Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nah, we can go ahead and jump into our first little main topic. It's something I've been struggling on for a minute, and that's time management.
Do we do many topics? I think all of our
Many
topics are
topics?
major. Yeah, I think we should give ourselves more credit.
I think so too.
I think all our topics are big time.
So for our first main topic,
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, talk that shit, Jake.
time
That sounds
management.
better.
That's something that I've been struggling with for a minute. This how to find time to get everything I need to do in a day done, and not just procrastinate so much.
Okay.
I was 2 weeks ago. Actually, I was at a shop. I was talking to the owner of it, and like they've been doing major renovations there. Like over the past 6 months, they've changed out the floors. Changed all the tiles, putting up crown roll molding around the whole shop, everything. So I'm like, how did y'all do this so quickly? Because most times when people start renovating, they do very little bit. And it takes them a year to do it. Like they've done it within like 3 months time period.
Yeah.
So he's like, so with me, I make a list. Everything I need to do, I put on a list. I just cross it out as I get stuff done. And that's how I live my life. So it makes me just do everything faster because I want to get everything off the list as quick as possible. So I'm like, I said, okay, I'm going to try it. So I went to Walmart. I got a dry erase board. It's like $15 for, I think it's like a 14 by 11 or something like that. But I wrote down everything I need to do for the week, everything I need to do for the day. And as I started doing it, just started crossing everything out. And the first thing, number one, it showed me how much stuff I actually do. Because when you're just doing stuff, you don't think about it. Well, I gotta get this, I got this, I can get this done. But when you actually write it out, you have more of an agenda to your day. So I've been doing that for the past week. It's really been helping me out with getting stuff done. Make sure I don't push stuff over that needs to be done today. Make sure I have a deadline for stuff. So do y'all have any type of system set up for time management, or what's y'all's experience with that?
You know, I was pretty good with time management once upon a time.
Then he lost track of time.
Man, then I lost track of it for real. Man, because you know, like I ain't gonna lie, like being a dad, like that messes. I ain't gonna say it messes up a lot of stuff, but
Boy, you've been taking a lot of shots at fatherhood lately. Like, you be like a lot of these. She cry a lot.
Nah, you gotta change your thing up. You gotta change your timing and your time management up a lot, because a lot of what you do, you have to take into account this other person.
Right,
so
it's not just about you anymore.
Absolutely, it's not. So it's like time management is kind of like a gray area for me right now,
right?
Because it's like, shit, I have to be somewhere at 11, right? So I know how long it takes for me to get ready to be somewhere by a certain time,
right.
I can be ready by that time, but daughter, she done shit on herself. She done got hungry. You know what I'm saying? She done got hungry. You know what I'm saying? And so that I have to account for that extra time that may or may not even happen. So it's like me, like, 'cause my daughter, she's 5 months. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still adjusting to trying to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So time management, it's still kind of a work. It's a working area for me right now.
Yeah, for me, no, time management is probably like one of my greatest weaknesses. My mom will tell you that. My wife will tell you that. My job will tell you that. Like it's pretty much a consensus. My pastor
around the world.
My pastor will tell you that. He will be like, Brother Sanders, glad you could join the congregation. So, I'm like, thank you, Pastor. I was just trying to get by offering. No, that's not true, but.
I think it is.
There's a little bit of truth in that. There's a little bit of truth in that. No, sometimes, dog, if you ever go to church, man, and you just barely miss the offering, don't your spirit just feel a little better? No, I'm kidding. Let me stop trolling.
This nigga barely be missing the offering on purpose.
Yo, it'd be like, that train's never late.
I know, right there in the parking lot shit.
We got 3 more minutes. We gotta go in.
Hold up.
Be standing outside listening.
Hey, then they preach the sermon, and then the deacon or the assistant pastor come up. Well, you know what? That meant so good. I think we need to take another offering.
Take another offering.
Be like, damn it. Wow. No, but we already stepped to the biblical portion of it. To speak to what J-Rock was saying, writing it down. Well, and the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain, and that's how you basically get stuff accomplished. Mm-hmm. I just struggle with. I think I struggle with writing stuff down. So I'm gonna try that, Jay, and I'll get back to y'all to see if that makes some sort of difference. I'm pretty sure it is, because I remember Harvard did a report on that. They did like a study on a class of people who I think half didn't write anything and half did, and then they came back like after a certain amount of time, and the people that actually wrote it down had a greater percentage of completion rate than the people who just said they were just going to do it. So yeah.
What's that phrase? Trust a dull pencil over a sharp mind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and even when you write something down, like because you make a good point. If I write something down, I physically see it, and I complete it, and I cross it off. There's like a sense of like, damn, okay, I finished something. Right. Versus just kind of blindly doing it because you know you have to do it.
Right.
Like you see yourself crossing it off, it's like, okay, damn, shit, I wanted to do X amount of things today, and I did it, and you feel good.
You feel accomplished.
And like for me, it's like even like with iPhones, like anytime you have an alert or a text message, you have that little red number. You got, and
the badge,
right? And that's annoying to me. It's like, okay, let me go and read these text messages. I don't like it showing that I haven't done something.
That is true. I'm bad about that, especially with email. Like, if my email is backed up, I'll clear that whole shit before I do anything else. I don't like.
It's annoying. Yeah. It's so annoying,
bro. My email got like 7,000 unread emails in it.
See, hell nah, bro. I had to get on to my bro about that shit because he had like 10,000 of them hoes just sitting, and I was like, you're not gonna clear that shit out?
Nope.
That's not crazy. Maybe that's just that OCD or the anal part of me.
Yeah, but it makes sense because like when you look at it, when people are dreamcasting and people are making
I miss my dreamcast.
They make a vision board because it's something that you can see every day,
right?
Versus it's something that you just think about. Right. So to me, it makes sense. So it's something I've been working on. So definitely, if it makes sense for y'all, try it and let me know what you think about it.
Let me ask you a question though before we move off this. Have you ever tried writing stuff down on your phone? Because I do that and it still doesn't work. Like I think you think there's a difference between digitally writing something and physically writing something?
I think it is.
Oh, absolutely.
I think it is because you can digitally write something in your phone and kind of a sense associate it to just sending a text message.
Right.
At least me personally, like if I go in my notes and I see something, like half the time I'll forget that it's there until I need to go in my notes and write something else.
Facts.
It's like, well, oh shit, this is here. I think once you get back to the actual physical part of writing it down, one, I think it retains better when you physically write it down. And then two, I think, like I said, just seeing it and then being able to physically cross something out as far as completing something is better than just backspacing and deleting something.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. So, like, speaking of that, like, say I went to Walmart, got a dry erase board. I put it in my bedroom wall. Mm-hmm. So the first thing I see in the morning when I wake up is my list. Mm-hmm. And if it's just on your phone, it's easier to not just open up your apps where you have the messages, or if you have a checklist on your phone, if you're not opening up the app, you'll never see it.
Right.
Versus if you have a sheet of paper that, let's say you post it to the door before you leave. You have to see that piece of paper, or you have it mounted on your wall. You have to see that every day. It's not something that you can just hide around or not open.
Right. Plus, man, it's so much shit on your phone that can distract you. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
YouTube.
Exactly. All that stuff. Email, all that stuff. So you may not even get back to that message that you left yourself.
The black hole of YouTube is real, dog. The related videos section, man, you click one video and you watching, like, I watch ESPN. That's how I get all my sports news. The related videos are forever.
Oh, yeah. That's how all that stuff set up. YouTube, social media, the algorithm set up to have have a never ending timeline. You know what I'm saying? I think I kind of feel that way with books too. Like, I don't know, it's something about me to just like, I like physical stuff. I like holding a book. Like, ebooks don't really work for me. Like I think it's just me liking the physical attribute of stuff.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that. I just kind of wanted to get y'all take on that because I struggle with that. I'll try to write something digitally and it just
because like to me it's too easy for me to ignore it.
Facts. So that's what's up. Well, you know what? I had a unique experience. What was that, yesterday? Boy. What?
Okay, now go ahead. I get a little nervous when you have unique experiences. You never know what's gonna come up with you.
Oh. Nah. I had a unique experience. So I'm pulling up into the neighborhood, right, and I see this group of kids walking up, and I get out the car, and the first thing I hear is, "Hey, mister." So I was like, "Ah, shit. They gonna ask me to buy something."
Selling Girl Scout cookies.
Bruh.
Might get some Samoas. We in there.
Yeah. They were, well, my people.
Oh, is that what they were doing?
I mean, they were selling cookies, but it wasn't Girl Scouts. It was just like a group of kids. Like they came through and they were like, I was like, "Hey, mister, would you like to donate some money?" I didn't even ask, because again, I was in my Black Panther experience, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna support the culture. So
there you go.
I didn't even care what they were selling. I was gonna give them some money, but I realized my thought process when I first saw them when they said, "Hey, mister." And I was like, like, I was like, like, I don't really like to be bothered sometimes when it comes to, like, when I know someone's going to ask me for money. Sometimes it's just like, I don't know. This might be a little controversial, but me and my mom had this conversation about this, like, homeless people, right?
Yeah.
I would go to church in South Dallas. We have a multitude of homeless in South Dallas, right? Uh-huh. So I know these people. Like, some of these people have been on the block since I was in high school, and that's like 15 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Or 14, 13 years ago. Like, I know these people, and they're still there. And over time, like, I was giving them money, and then eventually I kind of got to the point I was like, well, is this really what's the best way to get them help? Because I really didn't know, and I kind of had a conflict between that. And I remember my mom, this is just her insight on it. She was just saying that she likes to contribute to programs that will help the homeless, because sometimes a person's not in their right mind. You don't know what they're spending money on, and you might be contributing to a habit that's bringing them further into darkness or chaos or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And well, quick sidebar, because I had a funny story on this. I remember when I was in Tallahassee, I was in college.
Okay.
I was at this McDonald's. No, I was at it was FedEx. It was right by this McDonald's. I was at this FedEx and fully suited out. I was doing some business there. I was trying to mail out some applications, right? And this homeless woman rolled up on me, and so she was like, "Hey, I'm trying to get some stuff for my kids, and would you mind giving me some money?" And I said, "Yeah, no, that's cool. How old are the kids?" So she told me how old the kids were. I said, "Well, what do they need?" And she said, they need like toilet paper and tissue and stuff like that. I said, "Okay, cool." I said, "Well, let's go." And I started walking. And she looked at me. She was like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "To the store."
Exactly.
Yeah, to get to what you needed.
Yeah, let's go to the store. And so I just started walking. I didn't even look back. And she started following me. And then not even 2 minutes into the walk, she was like, "Well, if you can't give me no money, then bump it. We don't need your And then she stormed off. And I'm sitting there like, hold up. I was like, yo kids need tissue and toilet paper. I'm going to get the tissue and toilet paper.
Yep.
But because I didn't give her the cat, so I mean, that was just a sidebar. But the point was, I started realizing that it's a skill that I need to work on, as far as like a money skill. And so I actually did some research on it, and apparently there are 3 money skills that people typically have to work on. The first one is spending, the second one is saving, and the third one is giving. Now, just to kind of get some insight on it, what they was talking about on the spending part was the skill that we have to work on when spending money is spending money properly and spending money reasonably. But also the other side to that coin on spending is learning to enjoy your money and learning to enjoy life with your money. And I felt like when I heard that, I felt some type of way because I struggle with the enjoying my money. That's my weakness. I like to store money. I don't like to go out there and splurge and do a lot of stuff. And so, thank God for my wife. My wife actually, helps me get out more. And she actually polishes up that weakness for me because she's more of a spender. Now
Most women are.
Well, okay. that was a shot. That was a shot. Like, flag on the play.
That was J-Rock that said that.
Yeah,
for all the women out there listening, I just want to let y'all know that.
Flag on the play. Flag on the play. Unnecessary roughness.
I mean, he's right though.
I mean, yeah, he is right.
Hey, bro, he's right.
No, he's right. We just need to leave him on the edge by himself.
Leave on that in that thin water. Huh?
I got you, bro.
We got something to protect. But usually, you got your 2 types of people. You got your spenders and your savers. Since J-Rock kind of already hit on that. But I wanted to ask y'all, as far as spending, like, do y'all fall on either side on as far as like being more reasonable or proper with the spending, or struggling to splurge a little bit on yourself?
Me, one, I don't like people buying me stuff, and then 2, like when I don't
Facts.
buy stuff a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when I actually want to buy something,
All right.
I mean, actually, when I go to buy something, I want to buy something I really want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So as far as just splurging and blowing my money, I mean, I'm not going to do that. Me and some partners, we might go to Topgolf or something like that every, once a blue moon or something like that. But I'll rarely spend money on myself. I'm usually saving it, trying to pay down debt, looking into investments like Rock said last episode. But like, I don't really spend money. But when I do, like when I buy something, like I won't buy nothing for a whole year, and I'll turn around and I'll buy a drone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I got you.
Yeah. So that's kind of my habit with it. You know what I'm saying?
Jay?
For me, it's a little bit of both.
That's good balance.
I mean, yeah, because like I don't like going out and buying a lot of stuff, but like I said, if it's something that I enjoy doing, if it's a hobby that I'm doing,
right,
then I don't mind spending money because it's something that I enjoy. But at the same time, I don't just give, I don't spend just unnecessarily. If I don't have to spend it for something I don't have to have,
right,
then I try not to spend it. And then also with starting up the savings, I'm looking more into budgeting more, making sure that when I do spend money, it's necessary. Like versus like just eating out. Like that used to be a weakness. I used to instead of just go home cook, I go out, spend money at McDonald's, Taco Bell, all these fast food places.
Right.
But now I'm working on savings. I budget more. So I was like, well, I can spend literally a fourth of what I'm spending when I spend out.
Yeah.
And just save that money. So for me, it's a balance between both.
Yeah, man, you don't realize how much money you save until you stop eating fast food.
For real.
Like once you stop literally eating fast food, you'll realize that you save like almost $50.
Hundreds, like it adds up quick, bro.
Adds up real quick. Like, I don't think I've had. I mean, I've had Subway, but like usually it's like Whataburger, Golden Chick, or something like that. Like once I stop doing all that, and you realize how much money you're actually saving, like you can build up a savings just by not eating fast food.
Yeah, alone.
And putting that money into a savings account.
Quick thing on that. I remember, so I was working this auto insurance company, and it was right across the street from like a McDonald's. It was right across the street from like a Chinese restaurant, everything like that. And I remember when I stopped going there, because I was spending probably like $7 to $10 a day just for lunch, right?
Yeah. Easily.
And so like in a week, I was dropping $35 to $50 each week just to eat lunch, and I'm gonna be hungry like 4 hours later. So to speak to your point, Ave, when I actually started buying food and bringing my lunch, it helps, when your lady cooks for you. So y'all better start recruiting for real. But literally, I was sitting there, I was like, man, like I'm spending like $200 a month on lunch.
Yeah.
$50 a week, 4 weeks. I was like, man, like that's some bread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it makes a huge difference. So
and it's healthier when you cook. Like
that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like even if I don't know, like you frying a bacon chicken or something, like it's like you can fry your own chicken and it can be healthier than you going to a chicken place.
Yeah, because you know exactly what you put in it.
Yeah,
that's true.
You know what type of oil you're gonna use, what type of batter you're gonna use, what type of salt you're gonna use, and like it's just I don't know. I've been like on this, I don't want to say a health kick, but like a not eating fast food kick. And
right.
Man, it's something different.
Yeah, easily.
Well, the next thing that they talked about, the next money skill that they say we need to basically work on, or at least be conscious of and try to improve, is savings. So the thing with the savings is, one, you got to have the emergency fund set up. Yeah. Obviously, you got to have the college set up if you have kids, and really you need to save because, well, nigga, you got to retire. Like someday you ain't gonna be working. So if you really don't have that skill unlocked, like you can get into a lot of trouble. You can run into a lot of problems with that. And like again, y'all are heavy on the investment tips, so you can't invest shit if you don't have shit.
No, that is true.
So straight up. So I think savings is pretty self-explanatory. The one I'm a little more interested in is the giving aspect. So that's the third money skill, and that's the one that I feel basically is probably going with the cookie story. And the example, the one I probably had to work on a little bit more, because again, when I saw the girls come through and they were like, "Hey, mister," and they were asking me for the cookies, yeah, I did think like, "Oh shit, I really don't want to support."
Right.
I really don't. I just didn't, like, I wasn't in that mood. I wasn't in that mindset. And I was like, well, damn, it's Black Panther Day, so I gotta say yes. But I was glad. What's crazy is like when I gave them the money, I felt good.
Was it Girl Scout cookies?
Hell nah. Like,
You sounded disappointed with
that. No, for real.
I thought he had his heart set on some Samoas.
No, because when you see a tribe, God damn, I am watching Black Panther too much. When you see a group of kids,
a tribe of kids,
a tribe called Quest.
You only seen this movie once? You already calling about tribes and
once officially, Okay. That's between me and you. Look. And audience, listen, when I see this group of kids come up on us, right, and they're like, "Hey, mister," they lead with the donation, they lead with the money,
right? I
don't know what I'm buying, but I'm like, I have to say yes because this is a group of kids, they're black kids, it's Black Panther Day, I'm in this mode, I'm going to give them this. Like they caught me in the right moment.
They did.
Yeah.
Right? Otherwise I would have peeled off on them. But no, so I give them the money and they was like, okay, well, this is the thing. I gave them the money And then they offered me the cookie. I don't even know if the cookie was for sale.
These niggas just walking around with a bag of cookies.
That's right, because I remember I gave them the money. They was like, "Thank you. Do you want a cookie?"
You damn right.
So they made me choose. I could have been like, "No, I don't want the cookie. I just gave you $2 for nothing."
Bro.
Like the hustle, bro. The hustle.
These niggas, they wouldn't even sell cookies, dog. These niggas walked out the house with their mama cookies and was like, "Hey man, let's see if we get some money from this nigga."
My god!
And they was like, "Huh, can you give us $2?" You was nice enough to do it. They was like,
"Well, hold on. I'm not
gonna
gonna roll kill them. Like they didn't ask for a specific amount of money. They just said, "Hey, would you like to donate some money?" I don't even know what the cause was. Well, what was that Boondocks episode with Huey and Riley? He was like, "Cause I'm the cause, cause I want to be rich, cause I want to get this crop. I'm the cause, nigga. Cause I want this yacht."
Man,
Yo, shout out to Boondocks, man. But yeah, so they offered me the cookie, man, and I'm thinking I'm gonna get this green Girl Scout box cookie because I'm like, they look official.
Right.
Man, they pulled out some fucking red box that they probably got from Family Dollar. It had a little tape on it. They peeled it open. It's like,
bro, you will not be firing up these little kids on this podcast.
Roasting these kids for no reason.
You will not be firing up these little kids on this podcast.
Nah, they live in my neighborhood, man. I'm gonna get their parents to listen to this episode. Be like, let me tell you what Tommy, Deal, and Phil did to me, the little Rugrats.
You gonna get them kids beat.
Tommy, Lil, and Phil like stealing these damn cookies from your parents' pantry.
That's crazy. That's kind of my, because I like giving, right? Like I'm all for it, but it's kind of really hit or miss with me based on how I feel, because like you don't know what kind of motive people have. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I don't know, like when I'm out or something. I had an instance where, like, I'll get to the point to where I'll give all of my leftover food away to somebody, but then I'll have a point.
That's respect.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And then I'll have a case where it's like I see somebody, I'm like, is this nigga trying to pull something? Like, oh, no, I'm good. So like I kind of battle with that giving, I guess, all the time. Well, not giving all the time, but giving, and then like it's like the human side of me is like, okay, do they have an ulterior motive going on?
Yeah, so I'm gonna say something. I'm not shitting on homeless people before I say this.
Oh boy,
that's a hell of a disclaimer.
Yeah,
what the fuck you finna say?
Get this PSA out the way. Hold on.
Right.
What the hell you about to say? Go ahead.
Man, so the area I live in is I won't say a lot of homeless people, but you see them a lot. So I'm off of 635. So every on ramp and exit ramp, there's one person there with a sign, "Hey, need food," whatever. So
niggas be on rotation.
Man, I think they work shifts.
They do.
But
I used to live over there. I
do a regular job.
Bro, we shitting on kids and homeless people on this episode.
No,
what the hell's going on?
All right, I'm gonna clean it up. Go ahead, Jay.
All right, so but I was going to Kroger, so just going grocery shopping because, like we said, trying to save money, not eating out so much.
Right.
Leaving, this guy comes up, "Hey, my car just broke down. I need some gas money. I just need $10 so I can get back to the hotel." I don't really believe that you're in a hotel, but you know what? I'm in a good mood. I gave him $10.
Hold on. He said $10 for the hotel?
No, to get gas to go to the hotel.
I was about to say, come on.
Boy, don't believe
come on, cuz, get your lie together.
What?
$10 for the hotel? You at Motel 2?
For real, because Motel 6 ain't gonna be goddamn $10 a night.
Man, we will not leave the lights on for $10. Hell no.
You ain't even have electricity in that motherfucker for
$10. Yo, go ahead, man.
Yeah, so,
I'm sorry.
That's all good. So
we back.
I gave him
shit, $10.
So I gave him $10 so you get the gas or whatever. So fast forward a month, I'm at the gas station. This man walked up to me. He's like, "Hey, I just got out the hospital." I'm like, "You the same bum I gave money to earlier."
Dang.
I looked around. You ain't got no car. Where your,
no.
Where that gas money went, homie?
Man. See, that's the shit I be talking about. That's the stuff I be worried about, man. Like I love giving, but cases like this is like if I run across the same one.
Yeah.
In a different story, your first story don't check out no more.
Yeah,
bro, I can't give it to you no more, man. Nah, you ain't gonna get it. He said, "Man, I just need pop." Nah, man, you good.
All right, let me clean this up.
Nah, before you clean it up, I'm gonna do one.
Go ahead.
He has another homeless
At
person.
least I got one more.
But so like, what makes so bad is the media puts it out there, right?
Okay.
Cause I remember, it was like 5 years ago. They had a story about how people who weren't homeless used to go out and beg for money instead of working, and they had a home. They were able to find work, but this whole now sign, if you get 5 people to give you $10 an hour, that's $50 an hour.
Untaxed.
No tax.
Untaxed. So people just, they have people who just go out there and beg for money just because they don't want to work, because you can make more money off the street untaxed,
right,
than you can actually work and getting a job. So
that is true.
No, that is real. But I mean, like, just from the standpoint of homeless, look, we understand that there are people that are really homeless, right?
And who really need it.
And
absolutely.
who they really, so I don't think anybody on the podcast is making light of that, or is not aware of that. However, there is a hustle to the homeless game.
Right.
And the hustle is real.
The hustle is real. I've seen people get on rotations. I've been in South Dallas where a dude was on the side of the road. What was that? I think that was off Dolphin Road. And the dude was holding a sign. He was working his shift. Nigga walked over to a fucking BMW.
Ooh.
Like that's a real thing. Like, that's not like what J-Rock was alluding to on the news. Like, that happens. But there's levels to the hustle. I know a dude, he been on the block for a minute and there's nothing around him. There's literally nothing. There's no food, no restaurants, no nothing.
Right.
Niggas lips dry, skins toe up, jeans tattered. He's struggling. 2 blocks down the road, there's another dude, homeless guy. He's right across the street from McDonald's, right across the street from a gas station. Skin is lotioned up. Like, he looks healthy. He looks well fed.
Wow.
You have a fresh edge?
Well, nah, his edge up wasn't right. Well, he's a white dude. Smart.
Oh, never mind.
Oh,
I mean, white people have
white
sharp
people
edge
have
ups.
edge ups?
But I'm saying like I'm actually speaking to the savviness of this, because the black homeless dude wouldn't shit around. He was just barren wasteland. The white homeless dude took his ass to McDonald's and the gas station. This dude, like, literally was right down the street from my apartment complex. I seen him on that block for at least 5 months. And he would get these people to give him some money, and he would walk his ass over to the McDonald's and get a $1 meal. Dude was well fed. Like, he would take it. He would literally come back with a freaking cardboard sign with a Sprite bottle, a McDonald's bag, and a freaking bag of candy from like Chevron. He had the hustle on lock. I'm just saying, like, there's levels to, like, even if you're homeless, like, some people, they're just a little more savvy, and you just got to know, like, when you're giving, if we're gonna tie this back into the main point, is basically be aware when you're giving, because that could be a weakness, because your heart could be so forgiving to people that you don't save anything.
Right.
So you're really not of use to anybody, because when shit hits the fan and you have an emergency, you're not really prepared for that, because you gave everything away. So you have to have a balance. I mean, it's good to give, but not to your detriment. Right. And sometimes people that are givers, they struggle to save.
Well, you are used to everybody, just not yourself.
Well, okay, yeah, there you go. There you go. But, well, I mean, if we're gonna further that point, you are used to everybody for a period of time. Then you go through your shit. If you can't bail yourself out, you can't bail nobody else out either.
Oh,
you basically useless at that point.
And they can't bail you out because you bailing them out.
Because you bailing them out, right? Ooh, you saw how I tied that in? That boy good.
So let me ask y'all this: do y'all think it's better to give money or give time?
I thought you were about to say it's better to give or receive.
It's always better to receive. Anyway,
pause.
You see, I was gonna go there. I was gonna go there.
Pause.
I was gonna go there.
Nope. Pause.
I mean, shit, nigga, yo, top on bottom. Where we at? What you talking about? Nah, go ahead.
Nah.
But real talk, is it better to give or receive?
damn.
Time. Is it better to give time or give money?
I think it's better to give time. Time, again, you can always make more money, right? But time is one of those things where you can get a lot of value off of giving your time to people, and you can make an impact on that person's life. Like a conversation sometimes can go deeper than $1. Because if you can talk to somebody and really make them feel like somebody cares about them, because that's the thing with homeless people too. Mm-hmm. A lot of times they just feel like nobody looks at them, like they don't acknowledge their presence, like they're not even human, like they're not even there.
Most people do not look at them.
Yeah,
facts. Mm-hmm. But if you can speak to somebody that's in that position and let them know that somebody cares, that might make more of an impact on their life and their psyche than I'm just going to give you $1 and not say nothing to you and drive off.
Right. And it can go to the opposite way too, because I mean, like, I think there's a stigma on some homeless people that all homeless people are dumb or whatever, or they're beneath, or they just because they're at a certain poverty level, they don't have a certain intelligence. I mean, you can maybe find out a lot about a person regardless of what their monetary level is just by talking to them. Right. So just kind of how you said, you can instill something into that person. I can actually come back around and they can probably instill something into you.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So for me, I think it's both, because, you know, in order to have money, you have to spend time doing something, whether it's working a business, or investing. So you do need the time aspect of it to help out, to volunteer, whether it's a soup shelter, you know, or helping out conversations.
Right.
But the money aspect has to be there as well, because if you're volunteering to give food, but nobody put money for the food, then, you know, you can't give that time. So I think it's a combination of both.
That's true. That's a good point. I mean, we talk about hurricane relief and disaster relief. I mean, a lot of people can give a lot of time, but you need a lot of people to give up funds and money to actually make some stuff happen. You know what I mean?
And, you know, tying this back into the money skills and balancing it out, because again, they say that people usually struggle with one or more of the three. Mostly everybody either somebody struggles with the savings, the giving, the spending, or a combination of the three, or at least 2 out of 3, give or take. And I think that does speak to the characteristics of people. Like, for example, like let's say a person just spends money and they never give and they never save. Well, that might be a really shallow person. You know, characteristically, like they don't really, all they do is consume.
Right.
You know, and so I think that's something to just be conscious of. It's like, okay, well, cool. These are the 3 money skills. You got your spending, you got your savings, you got your giving. Where am I strong at? Okay, cool. Where am I weak at? And let me kind of balance that out, because that's going to make me a more well-rounded person. And I don't think we really think about becoming a well-rounded person just by dealing with money.
I agree. I think it's a combination of everything you just said. And like, just to kind of just think about what you're talking about, like one of them is a weakness. I would maybe even consider giving as one of my weaknesses. As much as I like to do it, and when I do it, I do like it, but I don't think I do it enough. You know, if we just being
I can see that. Yeah,
you know
that's transparency.
I mean, but at what point do you say is enough? Because at the same time, you don't want to give too much and give everything away. So it's all about the balance.
Right.
And,
you know,
like for me, you know, personally, you know, my thing is saving. So for 30 years now, it's been a weakness, but it's something I'm working on. So we're going to change that around and make this strength. So it's just a balance, making sure that you're not spending too much, so where you have something to put back. And also it's all about budgeting.
Right.
You know, let's say if in a month, say, well, I have $100 I can give. Or where do I want to give to? Whether it's church, whether it's homeless, whether it's a project or just a group. You know, it's just how much do you feel comfortable with? I don't think that you don't need to put a price tag on it, but just whatever works best for your budget.
Yeah. And I would say mine, again, is the spending. My weakness is actually enjoying the money that I do save. Like, it's that, and my wife, of course, again, helps me with that, because she gets me outside of my box. But going back to your point, Abe, about giving, that's a good incentive, because I remember Paul Meyer, first recorded billionaire in America, he said this. He said, my goal in life is to make as much money as possible so that I can give it away before I die. And so that's a good incentive. Like, we kind of, sometimes we have this negative relationship with money, and we think, well, if I get too much money, I'm going to change, or I'm not going to be a good person, because we associate money with the root of all evil, when it says the love of money is the root of all evil. That's different. Money itself is just what you use it for. So if your intent with money is to give, to help other people, then you need to make more money, because you can give more, you can help more people. So for you saying, well, okay, well, I feel like I may not give enough, that should be more incentive for you and for us to make more so we can help more.
Right. You make a good point about the whole. Nigga. Nah, but you said people people say money is the root of all evil.
Right.
I don't think it is. I think money just makes you more of what you already are. So the more money you have, the more whatever type of personality you have, it comes out. So if you're an asshole when you broke,
you're gonna be a big
Watch
asshole.
out.
you're gonna be a big asshole when you're rich, and
Facts.
vice versa. Like if you like giving, or you like the idea of giving, and you're poor, like not poor, but if you're not making a lot of money, but then when you make a lot of money, that's just going to heighten whatever personality you have.
No, I definitely agree with that, because what's a good way to say this?
Just to say it.
There you go. So let's say you're saying somebody's an asshole, and if they're not making a lot of money, it's not that the money prevents them from being a bigger one or being lesser one. It's just that the opportunities that you're afforded. So if you're in a situation where you have to work a job, well, your personality has to conform with whatever that job is. But if you're at a point where you don't have to work, or you are your own boss, there's nobody to put you in check. Okay. So you get to really reveal who you really are. So that's why I agree that money amplifies what you already are, because you don't have to conform to anybody else. You conform to yourself.
That's a good ass point.
Ooh, boy, you circled that around. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You tied a nice little bow on that. But well, you know what? Before we segue off of this, one thing, I saw something about judging people, right? And I found it interesting. They were talking about how how you, like, sometimes you see somebody with a really nice ass car, and y'all may not do it, but some people will say to themselves, like, why this motherfucker gotta have this car like this? Like, you don't really need all that. Or you look at their house and it's just like, dog, you really don't need a house that big. Like,
Rez, you don't really need. I'm joking.
that was a good one. That was a good one. But no, like I was reading this article, and it was talking about being careful when you judge. I think judging in itself is cool as long as you judge correctly. I think judging has a negative connotation, but like, heck, King Solomon was judging people, and he was really good at it. Like, the dude was wise. He made a lot of great decisions. So I don't have a problem with judging. I just have a problem with when you do it incorrectly. And what I mean by that is they gave an example of somebody who has a $500,000 net worth, right? But they have an $80,000 car. So you may look at their car and be like, well, damn, that car's too much. Like, that's, why do you need an $80,000 car? Well, that car is probably like 6% of his net worth. So he's actually being pretty frugal on the car. That's a much different thing than saying, I have a $40,000 car and I make $50,000 a year.
Yeah,
it's a little different.
Yeah. It's my whole issue with that, and judging. It's like you don't know, one, you don't know how much money people have,
right?
And two, you don't even know what they're doing with their money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you see somebody who drives a nice ass car, and you judge them, like, you don't know what else they're doing with their money. Right. They can have a foundation. They can be building a school. Shit, there was some, I don't want to say some broad, but some chick on TV.
Good cover up. That was a great edit.
Chick. Wow. There was some chick
broad.
There was some chick on TV getting on LeBron James.
Oh no, that broad, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and,
no, fuck that.
Because they, Kevin Durant and LeBron James, they were saying what they had to say saying what they had to say about the president. And this woman was like, pretty much talking down on
She
them.
was wilding.
She was wilding out for real. But I mean, if you look and see what LeBron James has done for shit, Miami, Cleveland, the kids he's sending to school, like you don't see that. You just see a motherfucker on the basketball court dribbling a basketball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like that is what I
that pissed me off. I ain't gonna lie. Like that got me heated because I'm like, I think at one point she mentioned that she was like Kevin Durant and LeBron, nobody voted for you, and I'm like, well, technically they're in the All-Star game. People did have to vote for that. So check your facts. And second of all, if you want to talk about voting, well, motherfucker, more people voted for Hillary than Trump. What are you talking about? Like, get your shit right. So I'm off. I'm not gonna tear her, but I'm saying.
So yeah, it's like just to go to my point. It's like you see what people are trying to do, or what people are doing, but you don't see what they've done in the background. Or you see what people have, but you don't see what they're doing in the background. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not for everybody. That's not an absolute, but I mean, you don't know what people do with their money.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at just people judging people in general, everybody judges, and there's nothing wrong with judging. It's just the perception and the actual connotation behind it, because we all judge people. That's what dating is,
without a fact.
You're so right.
If you're dating somebody, you're judging that person by their merit, or by your conversation.
Great point.
But what they do, you're saying, do I want to spend my life with this person? That's a judgment. It's one that everybody makes. There's nothing wrong making judgment. That's how our society is built. But people take perception as reality out of context, because for workplace, it's fine. But like we're just saying with LeBron James, with Kevin Durant, people have a certain perception of them just because they dribble a basketball for a living that make $millions.
Right.
Yep.
That's only 1% of their life.
Literally.
Pretty much in every interview, Kevin Durant says, "This is just basketball. There's more to life than just basketball."
Exactly.
So yes, that is one part of who they are, but it's not encompass everything. So if you are going to judge somebody, make sure that you get all your facts. So that's what I say about that part. Just make sure that you make a sound judgment and not just surface level.
That's real talk.
And perception honestly can be deceiving, because
no, absolutely, 100%.
You can be driving a nice ass car and be dead ass broke.
Dead
Dead ass be like, oh man, he's looking successful. He look like money.
Dead ass.
And bro. Like, you miss one check and you're done.
Yeah.
So I mean, you just got to be careful with it. But I mean, I love what y'all said about that. Just from a commentary standpoint, y'all are absolutely right. So I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, that's. I'm trying not to say anything about her, so let's move on to something else.
Right on. Shoot, real quick before we jump into this next subject, we want to give a shout out to our video producer, Lifestyle Productions.
Yes, sir. Young Tony Montana.
Young Tony, not Young Troy. Now he's doing some fantastic work for us with the video editing and all that stuff. So definitely check him out. His IG is Lifestyle Productions, and that's LYFE. Then style, and then productions with an S at the end. Lifestyle Productions. Fantastic guy. So before we dive into this next segment, I really want to give my thoughts and prayers out to Stoneman Douglas High School. Yeah. So Stoneman Douglas is a high school that just experienced a mass shooting. And I can't even begin to know what something like that could even feel like, from the students to the faculty, to the parents. And I say thoughts and prayers, but to be honest, I struggle with the phrase thoughts and prayers. Like, to be honest, I don't like the phrase. Okay. I mean, I get it, I understand it. We need to have sympathy and empathy for people who go through traumatic situations such as this one. And yes, we should be sending out our thoughts and prayers. But when I hear our leaders and our lawmakers, the people who have opportunity and the power to make change, use the phrase thoughts and prayers, but then they don't follow it up with anything.
Yep.
I feel like they're using that phrase as a way to weasel out of the situation.
Yep.
Like, I can remember back as far as Columbine High School, right?
Yeah.
2 gentlemen walk into a high school, open up fire. We had our lawmakers that came out, gave their thoughts and prayers. The conversation of gun control went up, and then it died down. Then what happened next? Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Somebody opened up fire on a university campus. Lawmakers came out, gave their thoughts and prayers. Conversation gun control went up, and then it died again. And then you have Sandy Hook Elementary School.
Wow.
Somebody opened fires on an elementary school. Our lawmakers come out again, give their thoughts and prayers. Conversation of gun control and gun violence rises again, probably to its highest point.
But nothing's gonna happen.
But then it died.
Yeah.
But then it died. And then you have the movie theater in Colorado, the nightclub in Florida, the church in South Carolina, the concert in Las Vegas. And so now we're dealing with another mass shooting. And it's like, bro, the phrase thoughts and prayers, like it's so watered down to me because every time I see a mass shooting, I always see a situation that either myself or I could have known someone who could have been in.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sandy Hook Elementary School. I have family and friends who teach. That could have very well been one of their schools. The movie theater in Colorado, that night they were seeing Dark Knight Rises.
Man.
That could have been me.
Man.
That could have been Rez.
That definitely could have been me.
That could have been J-Rock. Virginia Tech could have been the University of North Texas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at what point does something happen? And I understand that the conversation about what we should do about guns is a complicated one, but I mean, I think there needs to be a conversation that needs to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm a little frustrated because I just had this conversation with a couple people on Facebook, and they jumped to the aid of the law, like to the side of, well, we can't let a few people ruin it for everybody. But my main point on this is access. How are these little people? Oh, I'm trying to edit myself. How are these MFers getting these artillery units? Like the guy in Vegas, he had an artillery unit. Like that wasn't a pistol.
Right.
Yeah.
This kid in Florida, like these aren't like just like they are getting access to all of these weapons, and I'm like, it's not the weapon. Like I think somebody tried to argue with me. He was like, well, weapons don't kill people. People kill people. People kill people with weapons, fool.
Yeah. Straight up.
He was like, well, you can't stop a fool with a weapon. Don't give him the goddamn weapon. If you have a kid in your house, what do you do with the gun? You hide it from them.
Right.
Well, if the kid is parallel with the community, you hide the weapon from them. If they're not trained to have weapons, how are they getting so much access to this?
Right.
And then I'm looking at it from there was like this news it was like this news clip where they were talking about all the GOP, and I'm not trying to make this political on one side, but facts are facts. They were talking about the GOP, and they were talking about how the NRA was basically donating to them in their campaigns. So it's like this cycle. It's like, okay, well, cool. I'm going to donate to the GOP. The GOP is going to take my money, but because they take my money, they have to do me a solid and give me favorable laws towards my guns, which are going to make me a profit, which gives me more money to give back to GOP so I can get more laws to give me more access to guns. Like, it's a never-ending cycle. So miss me with the bullshit on the, well, we don't want to change the amendments. Motherfucker, that was written 200 years ago, nigga. You ain't heard of progress?
Right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nah. I agree with everything you said, because, like you said, at the time that the laws were written, it was only one type of gun: muskets and pistols, and it didn't matter if it was citizen or military. It was the same equipment for everybody. So at the time, that made sense. But like you said, times have changed. You know, growing up, I grew up in the suburbs, so I didn't see as much as violence growing up. But since I've been an adult, I've moved out of suburbs. I've been in hoods. I've been in nice places. I've been in bad places.
Right.
But how much protection do you really need to protect your family?
Thank you.
You know, if you have a 45, a Glock, and a shotgun, why do you need a AR-15? Why do you need a submachine gun? The same amount of time it takes you to grab a handgun, it's the same amount of time it takes you to get a semi-automatic weapon. And it only takes one bullet to stop whoever, you know, is threatening your family. Now, on the same side of that, I was on Facebook, I would say 2 weeks ago, and it was this black guy who the news was showing, tatted up, dreads, and I was watching the video, and he's training kids how to use guns. And my first thought, oh, this guy's an idiot. They're just putting on him because he doesn't know what he's talking about. They want to show us in a bad light. But then when I'm watching it, he's training. He's like, well, in the neighborhood that I live in, this is my reality. This is going to be my kids' reality. So I want them to know how to use weapons. So that way, if something happens, it's not an accident. You're not playing with it. No, I've taught you that this is dangerous.
Right.
I've taught you when to use it. He taught you how to load it. And then he flipped it on the news story where he's also teaching them about money. He's teaching them about self-improvement. So I'm like, wow, this guy's actually pretty intelligent. And I think you need both. You need the educational piece with it to show that there's a time and place for when weapons need to be used. But at the same time, the type of weapons that people have access to is now ridiculous. One of my friends was in the military. He did a tour overseas, came back home, and he was able to bring his gun with him. And this was a full militarized weapon.
Right.
And he brought it over to the house, like, wasn't loaded, just let me look at it. And he also had his sidearm, knife, all that stuff with him. But anybody has that same access to it. But the difference is he's a trained professional.
Yeah.
He knows what to do in a situation. He's been under live fire.
Yeah.
It's not just somebody, I saw an 80s action movie.
Right.
I want to be like
Right.
Sylvester, like Arnold.
some
I
Call
want to
of Duty
look
shit.
cool.
Yeah.
I want to look intimidating. Because if you're in a life or death situation, it's not how you look, it's how you respond.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important part. Yes, I believe that we don't need these type of weapons out here, but I think that there needs to be a bigger push for education of what to do in these type of situations.
I got you.
You just brought something to my mind when you said Call of Duty. Let's think about this for a second. If you've ever played online on Call of Duty, some of the most racist people in the world are online playing video games. If you are not a video game player, let's just go to social media. Let's just go to Instagram, Facebook. Some of the most racist, unintelligent lowlifes are online. Your plan is to give people like that more access to weapons. You think that's a good idea? That's a good plan to protect the community. Just because you have the right to bear arms doesn't mean you need to bear arms. That doesn't mean you're equipped to bear arms.
Right.
Dude hit me on my Facebook. We had a little back and forth on this. He said, brother, if we going to just say F the Constitution, I say we get rid of the First Amendment, not the Second. Stop. You fucking kidding me? You gonna get rid of the First Amendment before you get rid of the right to bear arms? The amount of just thoughtlessness of human beings, rights, living people. Like, I'm sure he would not say that if his sister went to that high school.
Yeah.
Of course not.
I'm sure if he was directly affected, like, bro, okay, so you got all these guns, right? You have a right to bear arms. What are you shooting? What are you hunting?
Right.
I saw a nice comedy sketch last night that I shared on my Facebook. It was and it's not a race thing, it's just the sketch.
Yeah.
It was two white guys. They were stereotyped country bumpkins. And they were talking about how, like, it's a great thing that we have the right to bear arms. And they had their shotguns, right? Cool. Muslim dude walks in between them. He's like, damn right. We all have the right to bear arms.
Yes.
And they start feeling uncomfortable.
Oh.
And they were like, well, where are you from? He's like, what do you mean where I'm from? I'm from the good old US of A. Right? And they were like, okay, well, what kind of guns do you have? Like, what are you hunting? He was like, I hunt to protect. He's like, we are going to have our people armed to the teeth in case we need to protect ourselves. And all of a sudden, the conversation changes now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you really about everybody having a right to bear arms, or certain people having a right to bear arms? Or like, what is your infatuation with having the right to bear arms? What are you shooting? What are you hunting?
Right. You made a good point, because during all this conversation and just kind of listening to everything happen, it's like, what exactly needs to happen for something to change? And I think, like, if somebody was affected personally, like you said, if it was old boys, daughters, high school, or whoever's, then it's an issue. But if you're just seeing it on TV, it's like, okay, well, nah, it's not a gun issue. It's not a gun issue. It's a people issue. Man, you know, when they, not to bring up another tragic story, but when they brought up, when 9/11 happened, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, dudes, took 2 planes into 2 buildings and all that stuff. Immediately, they changed the policy on how to get on the plane, what can you have. They brought in TSA.
Immediately.
Yeah. You know, they like access to the
cockpit.
They had access to the cockpit. So like now it's like, okay, you say guns don't kill people, people kill people. Okay, planes don't kill people, people kill people. But when planes go into buildings, you still find a way to change up the policy.
Great effing point.
On how we need to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like
but the plane companies ain't padding their pockets, bro. I mean, we can dance around this all we want to. This comes down to green.
Yeah.
No, I definitely agree with that 100% because the NRA is the biggest contributor, I believe, to most politics in the history ever since the NRA has been in existence.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what we said a couple weeks ago about marketing. People believe in marketing versus them looking up facts. You know, with the whole craze with zombies, people market to, hey, arm yourself against a zombie apocalypse. There is no fucking zombie apocalypse coming.
Yeah. People will do that shit.
Yeah. But now because it sells, laws are enacted to now it's easier for you to sell to because we're marketing to it, we're selling to it. Mm-hmm. So that also becomes an issue. And what you were saying with rights, but what people don't realize with rights comes responsibility.
Taught that ish.
That's true.
Because we all have the right to drive, but you have to have license. You have to be taught, and you have You have to be responsible with. That's why you have to have insurance. Mm-hmm. Just because you have the right to do something, you also have to be responsible with it.
Right.
And that's the piece that lawmakers and people in general, they don't. When we have this conversation, they don't think about that part. They say we have the right to, but are the people you're selling to, are they responsible enough to have that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not, we're not saying take guns completely off the street, like ban guns. And I think people go to the extreme. They're like, oh, well, you know, I have a right to bear arms. You can't just take my guns away from me. We're just saying let's limit the access to the guns so that a kid can't just walk down the street, go to Walmart and buy a gun and then shoot up his classroom.
You know what's interesting that you mentioned that? I was watching the clip, Now This posted online. And they were trying to figure out, okay, how easy is it to buy a gun?
Too easy
in the United States. You know what I'm saying? So they did this little project, and what's crazy is they were going to try to go into this this gun show, this huge gun show that was just taking place in Las Vegas, and they were trying to figure out, okay, how are you guys able to have a gun show in Las Vegas this huge?
That's crazy.
This just happened, right? So they weren't able to get in, but anyway, so they were like, okay, how easy is it to buy a gun? Because background checks are huge. Like, even because I own a gun, I have a firearm. Like, I had to, well, I may have my concealed carry license, so that counted as my background check to purchase a gun. But when they do just online looking for a seller, right?
Right.
Find a seller, contacts the guy. The guy meets up with they meet up in a parking lot, exchange money for a gun, and that's it. Like, wow. So I mean, it's like it's crazy how easy it is to access guns. We're not even talking about like going to,
that's crazy,
you know,
to a real store,
Gander Mountain and nothing like that. Like, just meeting some dude on whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, because I know the argument too is, well, because people, like you said, people go to the extreme is like, well, you can't take my guns because criminals have guns. I need to be able to protect myself from the criminals, which I get, but it's still like it shouldn't be that easy to have access to a firearm, to purchase one.
And when you need a gun, you need a gun. I'm not saying like if your life is being threatened and you need that gun, yes, you're going to be very happy that you need that gun. But then percentage wise, how often are you getting robbed, fool? How often, how many times in your life can you count where you've been stuck up? Like for the population as a whole.
Okay, so I'm going to speak on that. So
You been stuck up?
no, never.
I was about to say. I was like, what?
man.
I was
So-
like, tell me the story, please.
No. So, somebody I know actually was stuck up at an apartment complex at gunpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Never happened before, but because of the experience, now the person's like, well, I'm gonna feel safer if I have a tool to protect myself.
Respect.
So I completely get that.
That makes sense.
I've been in a situation, wasn't stuck up, but my car, somebody was attempting to steal my car.
Ah,
It's actually partly my fault, but anyway.
it was partly your fault.
Anyway, so
Wait, it was?
okay, so here's what happened.
Your door's no light or something?
Go ahead and get the jokes off.
yeah,
Go ahead and
so-
get the jokes off. Here it come. Here it come. It's coming.
So, full disclaimer, I did accidentally leave my car doors unlocked. So, I'm at home in my bed laying down. I get called like, hey, J-Rock, you leaving? I'm like, nah, man, I'm in the bed, I'm chilling. He's like,
That's a
nah,
crazy call
well,
again.
somebody's in your car. What? Nigga. So, get dressed. I go downstairs. At the time, I did have a gun with me. I knocked on the door with a pistol. Hey, yo, man, what's up? Can I help you?
Like, what's up? Like, straight up.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, hey man, this my car. Nah, this ain't your car. You need to get out right now.
Damn.
And he got out. He left. Called the cops. The cops found him. He was high or he was drunk. Or
Yeah,
whatever
that dude was on PCP.
And
He was gone.
so basically, but of course, before the cops got there, I put the gun away.
Smart man. Black man threatening white guy stealing his car.
Yeah, but yeah,
Probably
I
wouldn't have
put
worked
my
out
gun
well
up.
for you.
But anyway, so the cops get there, they find him, and not to segue off of the topic, but they tell him like, hey, he didn't technically steal it, he was just in it.
No.
So
Ooh. I'm
we
sorry.
can't arrest him.
That made me so mad.
What? He was just, he didn't steal it, he was just in it.
He was just in
He
it.
was just
See?
in it.
That's
he
that
didn't
double
steal it. There
double
was
standard
no
bullshit.
intent. He's not in his right mind. If you want to press charges, we can, but we can't arrest him.
See, now if I would have touched him with one of them bullets,
Then we
would've
would have had a
been an
problem.
Yeah, oh yeah.
See, that's a double standard bullshit. I remember that, dog.
Yeah.
Clear as day. I remember that.
So, but to get back to the original topic, if I didn't have a gun in my hand, would I have been that bold to just knock on the car door window? It's like, hey, what's going on? So I understand when people say that hey, guns are necessary. Yes, I agree with that. But at the same time, you don't need to have all types of guns. And if somebody's going to the store, to buy a gun, why would they need to buy 15 carts of ammunition?
Thank you.
What are you shooting up?
What are you doing?
If you're going to a gun range, you just need the amount of bullets for the gun range, and that's it.
okay. I'll speak on that because that's actually a good point. Because my whole argument is access. Like, we need to have something, but there's websites where you can go and buy 500, 2,000 rounds of ammunition and have it show up at your doorstep.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'll do defense training in Oklahoma, and we go through a lot of rounds.
Right.
And so I'll need a lot of rounds to go. So, but yeah, it's just as easy as going online, asking how many I want, and then them literally showing up at my doorstep.
Yeah.
Like, I'm of sound mind, but
Yeah.
the dude in Las Vegas, he had how many rounds of ammunition?
Too many.
Way too many.
So, and mind you, I'm not even against guns, but like, I'm not against guns, but if the only solution was everybody gave their guns up, criminals, everybody, I wouldn't hesitate at all to do it. At all. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what the solution is. But there needs to be at least one step.
Something got to happen.
The
man.
fact that we've had all these shootings or what have you, and like there's not one, like there's not even an attempt, like a bill or nothing, a legislation like of anything.
And to tie this back to the beginning, before we move off of this, is thoughts and prayers, right? That's that. Thoughts and prayers is that BS. Like it's like, all the politicians want to be Bible thumpers when they running for election, right? But what's the Bible say? Faith without actions is
Dead.
is dead. So you miss me with the thoughts and prayers if you're not going to put no action behind it.
Right.
This is dead. There's nothing to talk about. That like I don't think I've heard it better than the way you articulated it at the beginning of this segment. Is just like the cycle, the thoughts and prayers, you know, the false conversations that we have, the outrage. It goes down, it disappears, and then we just start the cycle over.
It happens over again.
So yeah,
man. So that's it with that. Like, hey, anything to say on that?
No, I'm just gonna go ahead and close it out with a joke that Chris Rock said, and I believe it was Bigger and Blacker. You know, when I think it was right after Columbine or one of the shootings, he's like, "We don't need gun control, we need bullet control." Because if bullets cost $5,000, and if it was a drive-by, you know he meant it.
Yeah,
you, know
you really want to kill that motherfucker. Like, God damn it, Chris Rock is a genius, bro. Like, yeah,
right
dog.
on.
If it costs you $5,000 a bullet, yeah, you wanted him dead. He did something.
Hey,
Yeah,
you know
he did something.
That's real talk. Shout out J Rock. That was good.
That was good stuff.
J Rock with the Chris Rock.
Man, so
Rock in the building all day.
Yeah.
speaking of Chris Rock and Chris Brown, we're gonna move on to Catch That Beat.
Chris
I
Rock.
had to tie the Chris's in there.
No, I mean honestly, like the segue was actually complete. Like J Rock actually segued perfectly. You just kind of reset us.
It's okay.
My bad.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean,
I'm working on the whole segue.
like he hit the white ball on the pool table and they spread out and you just like kind of put the triangle back up and just
Damn, that was my fault.
You know, okay. So, uncomfortable segue.
Chris
We're
Rock,
gonna go ahead and go
Chris
to Catch That
Brown.
Beat. Rez is what, you the 3-time champion?
Yeah.
2 times.
2 times? Oh no, only 2
I
times.
don't even count anymore. It's fine.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and segue into the smooth R&B.
All right.
I can take an L now. I'm good now.
All right, so Abe, you ready?
I guess.
Rez?
I'm always ready.
All right, so we'll go ahead and jump off things. Here we go.
I'm not ready. Go ahead.
Oh,
Michael Jackson, Billie Jean.
All right.
That sounds like something Carlton's dancing off of. Is that the original?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, so. All right, here we go for round 2.
Oh, Contagious.
Ozzy Brothers. Ronald
R.
Ozzy.
Kelly.
No, R. Kelly was in the video. Split that.
What you mean? R. Kelly was in the video.
R. Kelly was in the video. He didn't have a voice. Ronald Ozzy sung that whole song. R. Kelly just mouthed the voice when he got caught in the bedroom.
All right.
Okay.
Damn.
So we tied. Still, it's
Yeah,
1-1.
y'all both got half and half.
Well, no, I got Billie Jean. Or
He said Michael Jackson.
I said Michael Jackson.
Oh, okay,
said
so
Billie
1-1-1.
Jean. I said
Okay, cool,
Contagious.
cool.
He said Ozzy Brothers. All right.
we keep it scope. Oh, you're doing better this time.
I am. Music Soul Child Love.
This nigga really bought R&B. This motherfucker.
That's my shit. Hey, yo.
This album actually went very hard.
Yeah.
Y'all remember Previous Cats? I'm gonna play that for y'all, dog. Music Soul Child?
Lately you been, boy. Y'all remember this video?
Yeah, that's what you do when you can't hit that note.
Yeah.
You be like, you remember that? Y'all remember the video?
Alright. Let's see. What's the next R&B song we gonna hit up?
Boy, the listeners like, we can't even get no fucking rotation off these songs.
Let's see.
Nah, B, not today. Now you know how that shit feel.
Boy, the grudge.
So wait, what's the count?
I got 2.
2-1, yeah.
I didn't think that next song was gonna be R&B. I thought he was gonna switch it up.
Nah, this nigga brought straight R&B classics.
Boy,
I believe it. I believe it though.
Yeah, I believe him too.
50 Cent.
50 Cent, Magic Stick. No, Little Kim Magic Stick. It's Lil Kim Magic Stick.
It's 50 Cent.
Nah, that's Lil Kim.
It's 50 Cent
50 Cent's featured.
Lil Kim.
No, that's on Lil Kim's album. Look that up. That's featuring 50 Cent.
Magic Stick, 50 Cent.
Cause that was off La Bella Mafia. I got the magic stick. I know it was. I'm here twice.
I don't doubt Rez. He was right on that Kamikaze and
Man, I was kind of pissed off about that shit.
Yeah, look, there you go. Lil Kim featuring 50 Cent Majestic. Give me
Man,
my points, nigga.
that's what you typed in. Yeah, that's what if you type in 50 Cent.
It's off her album, nigga.
Hey, type in 50 Cent featuring Lil Kim.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same
I bet
shit.
it's the same shit.
We need to go to the official. He gonna go to YouTube. We need to go to the official.
All right.
Anybody can type something.
YouTube Red.
Let's go to La Bella Mafia, dog. I know my hip hop. Don't. Go ahead, move on.
Was that your last song?
Oh, no, we got more.
Okay.
This for game?
Yeah.
I'm winning.
No, we tied. I just got Lil Kim Majestic.
Oh, okay. Okay, whatever. All right.
I'm trying to hang on.
I see.
All right, here we go.
Busta Rhymes past Cavassier.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I couldn't think of the name of it.
That's when
Don't this shit make a nigga wanna jump?
they were doing Harlem Nights.
Yeah.
They were doing Harlem Nights in that video. Act the fool. You better watch. Yeah.
That's what's up. I'm a Busta.
Damn. Hey,
Nah.
Yep, there we
I
go.
gave you 3 R&Bs. I thought you was on.
I had them. Well, what?
That's off the album.
Oh yeah, okay, I see it. It's probably 50 Cent song too. You know that shit you pulled last week.
No, what?
What
happened? It was 50 Cent song. I'm pretty sure he just sold it to her.
I believe that too. Okay.
You got anything else?
Let's see
Yeah, what
what
else you
I
got?
played yet.
Let's let something ride so we don't just body these segments.
Alright, so I got 2 more, and then I'll let an R&B ride. No, we'll do the R&B, the other song last. Here we go. Damn, this shit got awkwardly quiet, didn't it?
I mean,
boy,
you're not on YouTube today.
Yo, DJ segues.
You're not on YouTube today. We got no advertising today. I'm
Use
trying to
some
figure out what's going on. Oh, Jay-Z.
Nah,
Yeah.
I hated this song. This song's trash, bro.
What?
I like Hov, but this song was garbage.
This song, boy, you crazy.
The verses were dope, but that beat, like, come on.
You don't like the beat?
I don't like the beat.
You recognize it
That
pretty
beat.
quick.
That beat go hard.
Nah, I mean, it went hard in like 89.
Son, do you know what I'm stopping you for? Because I'm young and I'm black and my hat's real low. Do I look like
God, he bodied that verse.
I don't know.
Why did Jay come back? That was a perfect album to leave.
The money,
Yeah, no.
man. That's what it's all about.
I did get Beat Share though after that. Beat Share was dope.
This last one I got for you boys.
Oh, this
Casey
one.
and JoJo all my life.
Why didn't you play this early? You could have gave him a win. I would have never got this shit.
You don't know the song?
No, I know the song, but I never would have guessed the
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to play this all R&B tracks.
Yeah, I learned how to play
Damn,
piano.
nigga, that was a strong ass snap.
Yeah.
Like you said, were you in the band? Like,
Damn old extra
God.
long fingers.
This was one of the first time I learned how to play on the piano.
that was an underrated joke.
It was. But yeah, nah, shit, man. You know how to play this on the piano, bro? Man, them girls was like, oh, you can play the piano. It was this, and it was Crook for Life. Y'all probably know what that is.
I'm a crook for life.
Yeah.
You don't wanna run with me. Oh my god.
See, I was gonna have that as a song as
That
one of
was
my
classic.
catch my beats, but catch that beat. But I didn't think y'all would know that shit because they from
Yeah.
Dallas.
Well, and then what was it, Mr. Lucci? Hold on.
You don't know the song?
How did that go?
Mr. Lucci be coming up the block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that was fire. Dog, damn man, you took me back to the school bus, dog. Yeah.
Nah, we had that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Y'all remember them Dallas niggas like that. Okay.
Yeah, see,
you earned some more respect from me.
Nah, it's hip hop.
Because you lost it last week with Power Trip and Worst Behavior. I was like, man, this nigga.
I was wilding on the
Once.
worst behavior. All right, man.
Niggas was also wilding on Forever. I ain't gonna point at nobody.
That nigga, I'm only for everything. I was like, everything, nigga?
Nigga, for real, you said everything.
Alright, so anyway, this gonna wrap up this show real quick.
Alright, man. We got anything else before we out of here?
Oh.
Nah.
Girl Scout cookies are good when you get them.
$2 cookies are bad, huh?
Yeah.
$2 cookies a cookie, nigga. Shit.
Nigga, they hit me for $2 for one cookie, bruh.
What?
One.
Talking about profit margin, nigga.
Good lord, man. That's profit sharing for real. That came up on me, dog.
Oh man, shit. I guess we out of here. This is your boy King Gave.
J-Rock.
Young Rez.
Speak between the lines. We out of here.
You really want me to say one?
No, I didn't want you to say that because I knew you was gonna say two.
Deuce.
Why do you do that?
Deuces.
What is two? Say
What is
deuce.
that? What is that?
two?
Deuces. Peace.
I've been wanting. Hold on, stop it. We're not ending this episode. Listen, I've been wanting to ask you this for like 4 episodes. I say 1 because that's my thing. What is 2?
What is 2 about?
2 is deuces. Peace. Peace out.
Nigga, I thought you was just saying.
Nah,
I thought y'all
nah.
were counting.
No, it
'Cause-
was all behind it.
No, because
It was funny. It was just funny as hell.
no, because low key, I was like, so is Abe supposed to say 3 now? Is Abe the one fucking this up?
Nah, I wasn't gonna say 3, dog. I'll let y'all there.
All right, what?
Why not just say deuce?
2.
Deuces.
2.
Why you gotta say 2?
It's because it's funny. See, do you hear laughter? Thank you.
We out, man. Oh, yeah.